Hello there everyone, Ash and Flash here, and welcome on into a very special video. Today we're going to be looking at every single LEGO The Penguin minifigure, sort of. There's like two exceptions here, but I'm very excited about this. I did this over 5 years ago at this point, and with the finale of the TV show The Penguin happening today, I thought what better time to look at all of the new figures here that we've gotten since then, update this, talk about maybe some that we could see in the future. If you want to hop around, we are going to go in order of their minifigure releases, not the different movies and shows that they appear in. But let's go ahead. Let's start with the 2006 version. Here is the 2006 version of the Penguin, and this, just looking at this, really takes me back. It's interesting. I went back and watched that original video, and I talked about how back then, when I filmed that, I didn't have any of the sets that he came in. I actually bought this from a convention from Toronto years and years ago when I was a kid, but growing up, I only had the keychain version, and it had like the stud on top there, and unfortunately, that's all that I had to play with. But what's great is that since then I was able to buy the Batcave set that he comes in, as well as the Robin set. That was a 2008 set, but I was never able to remove the top hat there. So to be able to do this is, I don't know, it just means a lot to me. And because of the channel that I was able to buy those expensive sets. So yeah, anyways, the torso looks good, and the face, again, I'm very nostalgic for this figure for those reasons, but also the video game as well here. And the build for the umbrella is pretty simple, but it's one that you're going to see a lot, and I think they really just nailed it right off the bat. But he would actually get a different version in 2008 with a much larger dish piece there. It's like massive. It can't even focus with the camera here as it turns. It's just insane. I'm glad that they went back and only used this once, because I don't think this works well at all. It's just way too big. It works for like an umbrella outside of a restaurant, but not one for a figure like this. In 2013, we got the very first Penguin figure for the return of Batman and the start of DC superheroes. So a year after the theme returned, but I really love this one a lot. I'm also very nostalgic for this because of just, I remember exactly where I was when this figure was revealed, and oh my goodness, this actually appears in an Arkham Asylum set, which is interesting since the Penguin doesn't typically go to Arkham. He's usually shipped off to Blackgate, but I love the torso there that is actually used in a bunch of other sets just outside of the Penguin, as well as the face looks amazing. I love the smirk and the monocle printing there. And unfortunately, you're going to see that face used for a couple other Penguins here, but the back torso looks great there too. I love the leg color there and how it matches the bow tie. But yeah, I didn't realize, I forgot, but because that torso had been used other places, this figure, exactly as it is, was also in the Jokerland set. And here's the 2014 Penguin figure. This actually came alongside the very first rubber ducky build that he had. And I love the fur on the torso. It looks really great there. Again, same face that we got before. Next, from 2016, we got the classic Batman TV series, the Penguin figure. And unfortunately, there's nothing new here for him besides the hat color. The torso is the same one from 2013, and same with the face. They just swapped out the legs and the hat. But still, I mean, it's great that we got some representation here for the show. In 2017, we got this incredible figure for the Penguin, and you're going to notice here, unfortunately, mine's sun faded. I left it in like the windowsill with a bunch of other Lego Batman characters, and just never leave your Lego in the sun. I didn't realize it was a thing. I also had yellow lights in that room, so I wasn't able to tell that it was doing this damage until I moved down to the basement, and I looked at so many figures, and I have to go back and buy them, and because it just looks so bad there. But the face, unfortunately, it's also exclusive to one of the larger sets from Lego Batman movie, but it still is a great face. I love the expression, even the monocle with the shading there. It's just really awesome. Also, just the whole look is obviously inspired by Danny DeVito's Penguin, and I think the skin color is better than what you're going to see for the official figure from Batman Returns. Also, the torso underneath, I just love how they've sort of shaped it. I think that looks really great. You could see that he's sort of thicker, I guess. The arm printing as well looks great. I love that little detail there that was added. That actually is the only figure for the Penguin to have arm printing. And also, the umbrella piece was actually introduced with him. So that's awesome. We're getting that in, I think, like pink as well for Hagrid. But yeah, it's great that they actually went and designed that back then. No back torso printing, surprisingly. Maybe that's a fun little reference to the 2006 figure. Technically, there was another version with the same torso, but a different head. And this actually came in the Arctic Roller set. This was a Target exclusive at the time with an angrier expression here for the Penguin. But that face would be used for the Arkham jumpsuit version of the Penguin. This actually appeared in a book, and it technically is exclusive because of all the combinations of everything here. I think the most difficult thing that you might have a hard time getting a hold of is the orange legs if you wanted to just make this yourself, since the torso is nothing special. This thing appeared in the minifigure series, and I bought them for 63 cents when they were still on shelves years after. In 2019, we got an Arkham Asylum set, and inside there were references to Mr. Freeze, the Scarecrow, and the Penguin. This hat specifically is referenced in the description as belonging to the Penguin. And in 2020, we got this version of the Penguin. I really love this one. I think it's one of my favorites. I like the torso printing there with the stripes and everything. It matches like the rubber ducks that he's got, of course, in all his vehicles. But I think this is my favorite face they ever made for him there. I love how they did the one eye there, how it's in like dark gray and light gray to give that monocle effect. And the smile is really great too. And because they're so close together, we'll just pretend that this hat belongs to him, even though the purples don't really line up and belong together. And in 2021 or 2022, depending on your country, we got this version of the Penguin. The whole reason I want to do this video here, and that is for the version from the Batman. It looks great. I love the torso printing and the leg printing. It's just incredible. He also has this like rocket launcher there with the stud in it. But what's great about this is because he has a hairpiece and not a top hat, he does have this other expression on the back where he's yelling. In 2023, we got Danny DeVito's Penguin from Batman Returns from the Shadow Box set. But I don't know, I love the printing on this, like the torso printing there, and even the fur, I think looks really good. You could see how it's printed there on the torso, and I like the fish as the accessory. It's a great little reference, but to me, it's just the skin color. It just doesn't at all, I think, fit well for him. I think white would have been a better call. And lastly here, I feel like I had to talk about this. It's the Penguin tile from the new Gotham City Skyline set for Batman the Animated Series from 2024. Love that set a lot, and I love that they reference a bunch of characters that we don't have physically yet. But anyways, everyone, that is every Penguin minifigure. I said yet because I'd love to get Batman the Animated Series version of him. I think that that's one of the few that we really need. I'd say also the Arkham games. They're just some iconic versions of the character that are missing here from this collection now that we've gotten some really great versions. And of course, there's some pretty cool outfits, of course, from the Penguin show and even the Batman that would be good to get at some point for Colin Farrell's Penguin. But what do you think of all these? Which minifigures are your favorites? Which ones do you have? Are there any that you want to go out and get? Maybe you didn't even know some existed. But I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Hope you all have a great day. We'll see you all in the next one.